Hi, my name is Amy Pryor. I'm a middle school health and physical education teacher. I'm a Spark trainer, the world's most researched physical education and physical activity programs. I'm a Shape America Southern District Teacher of the Year, and I'm sharing with you today from Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Thanks for participating in the Spartan Kids Be Unbreakable Challenge. We are asking you to accept the challenge to be lifelong learners and advocate for your own health and wellness beyond your school. Parents, it is important that you advocate for quality physical education. Today's session will cover these national PE standards and grade level outcomes. The Spartan Kids Code. A Spartan understands that eating a healthy diet and exercise often keeps our bodies strong. And a Spark Healthy message. Reduce TV and media time. I've brought our activity outside today because, as you can see, spring has sprung here in Hilton Head. However, all activities are designed to be done indoors or outdoors and only with family members who are known to be healthy. We encourage responsibility, participate in activities that are suitable for you and your family, considering all guidelines and recommendations of the Centers for Disease Control. Remember, even if today's session is more advanced or too easy for you, participate and do the best you can. It is all about having fun and being active. Okay, let's get started. So our activity today is called an aerobic capacity circuit. And all that means is we're going to do a bunch of different exercises that are going to strengthen our heart and make us stronger. Okay, this also means that it focuses on our heart rate. Okay, so we're going to measure our heart rate a couple of times during our session today so that we can see how hard we're working. So to measure our heart rate, first you're going to take your two fingers, your pointer finger and your middle finger. Okay, and then you're going to find the center of your throat, and then you're just going to move to the side, kind of where your neck naturally kind of goes in. If you sit real still, you should be able to feel your heartbeat pulsing against your fingers. Let's see if you can feel it. Okay, now we're going to measure our heart rate for 30 seconds. That means you're going to count the number of times that your heartbeat pushes against your skin. All right, get ready, set, go. And stop. Okay, so we only measured our heart rate for 30 seconds. Well, that's half a minute. So guess what? You get to multiply it by 2. Who knew that you'd be doing math during your fitness workout today? However, here we are. Okay, so you're going to take whatever number you got and you're going to add it to itself or multiply it by 2. So let's say I got 36 for my measurement. I would take 36 plus 36, and that's going to give me 72. So my resting heart rate for a minute before I started today would be a 72. Okay, so that's real important that you remember to multiply it by 2. All right, so do that each time you measure your heart rate. Do it for 30 seconds, multiply by 2. All right, so that's going to be called your resting heart rate because it's before we've begun any activity. I'm going to go through and explain our activity and explain our circuit, but what I want to want you to keep in mind is that you're going to perform different aerobic skills today. And you want to keep your heart rate between a zone 2 and a zone 3. Zone 2 is called the temperate zone, where you'll burn fat and build muscle, and that's about 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. Zone 3 is the aerobic zone, and that's where you'll burn more calories and benefit more aerobically. That's about 70 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. So I'm going to show a chart right now that will help explain what that means and how many beats per minute that is for you. Now, this is going to be based off of somebody who's 12 years old. Somebody like me that's a little bit older than you, these numbers aren't going to apply to me. So if you're working out with a parent or an older sibling, their numbers might be a little bit different. I just wanted to clarify that so that there's no confusion. So our activity today, we have 5 stations in our fitness circuit. All right, all that means is you're going to Spend time doing one activity, take a short break. You're going to rotate to the next activity, take a short break, and we'll do that until we get around all 5 stations. When you do this on your own, you're welcome to add more stations if you'd like. Again, you're performing to your best ability. So we're more focused on the quality of our movement than the amount of movement that we can do. It's not a race, okay? So those are the things that we're going to be focusing on. Try it if you're working out with somebody else, try to encourage them and motivate them to do their best, and you guys can work with each other. All right, so I'm going to go through and demonstrate each of the 5 exercises, and then we'll go through the loop all at one whole loop. Okay, so our first station is going to be jumping jacks. Jumping jacks are pretty simple. All you're going to do is you're going to start with your feet together and your hands at your side. Then you're going to jump, and when you jump, you're going to spread your feet and put your hands above your head. Okay? Then you're going to bring back together to the starting point, and you're going to jump. And you're going to spread your feet and bring your hands above your head. Okay? So, fast looks like this. All right, and some ways to modify that. Can you move your arms faster? Can you move your legs faster? Okay, if that's too much for you, then you can do simply how I demonstrated, where you just step to the side and step together. Okay, so if it's too difficult for you to do that exercise, you can do it with a step. Okay, you don't have to jump. All right, if it's too easy for you just to do a simple jumping jack, speed up the rate at which you're doing it. All right, so those are jumping jacks. Let's move on to our next exercise. Our next exercise is called invisible jump rope. And I always tell my students, my invisible jump rope is the best jump rope ever. I never make a mistake, and it helps me do tricks, and it's the best jump rope ever. All right, so that being said, you're gonna simply stand with your feet together, hold your hands out like you're holding a jump rope, and you're just gonna simply jump and turn your arms. All right, now if that's too easy for you, see what kind of tricks you can make, okay? Some people start this way, and then they start jumping. Maybe they do double jumps, all right? Maybe you can jump backwards. Maybe you can do a twist when you jump. Okay, so think of some fun ways to change up your invisible jump rope, and I'm sure your invisible jump rope will be just as good as mine. Okay, our next activity is called line touches. Really simple. You need to get a big enough space that you can run back and forth. All right, I'm out here on my back porch, and so I'm just gonna run to the edge of my deck and come back. All right, feel free to set something up as a marker if you just don't have, if you don't have an open space like this. All right, but the goal is to see how many times we can go back and forth. When you get to the end, all you're gonna do is do a lunge, touch the ground, come back up, and then head the opposite direction. All right, so full speed looks like this. All right, so think of ways that you can change your step up. Maybe you do a side shuffle step instead. Maybe you do high knees. But whatever you do, challenge yourself, make it a little bit more physically active if you need to, or a little bit less if you don't. Okay, our fourth exercise in our circuit are gonna be knee taps. Really simple. You're gonna put your hands out in front of you. All you're gonna do is lift your knees, all right, and tap your knees with your hands. Okay, super simple. So full tempo looks a little bit like this. Okay, so what are some ways that you can modify that to make it a little bit more challenging? Maybe every 2 or 3 knee taps, throw in a squat, throw in a jumping jack, all right, throw in a burpee, something along those lines, all right? And if you need to lower it down a little bit and not make it quite so advanced, you could just slow your tempo down. Maybe don't raise your knees as high. All right, so those are some options for knee taps. And now we'll move on to our final station. Okay, our fifth and final activity station for our circuit today is going to be the bench step. All right, I don't have a fitness bench at my house, but I do have this step here. So we're going to kind of modify the bench step to work for me. So think about ways that you can modify that at your house, maybe somewhere that you could access either a step or a sturdy, strong box that you can go up and down on, as long as you have parent permission. All right, so I'm gonna make sure that I get my entire foot up on the step. I'm gonna step up real easy, and then I'm gonna step down, okay? So my whole foot comes up, I step all the way up, and then I step down. All right, to make this a little bit more physically active and tap into that aerobic capacity, I'm gonna go full speed. All right, here we go. Okay, ways that you can modify that. Your rate of speed. Try and switch to your non-dominant leg. All right, maybe when you get up to the top, do a jumping jack, do some high knees, do a star jump. Okay, so think of ways that you can modify that to be more advanced. All right, if you need something that's not quite as advanced, just slow the pace down a little bit. All right, that's good. So now let's put it all together now. We're gonna do one fitness circuit all the way through. Ideally, you're gonna do 2 to 3 minutes on, take about 30 seconds off, rotate to the next station during that 30 seconds, 2 to 3 minutes on, and vice versa until you get around all 5 stations. All right, here we go. I'll meet you out here. Okay, our first station is jumping jacks. Ready, begin. All right, great job. That's 2 down, 3 to go. Here we go. High knees next. All right, now we're gonna go with our knee taps. You guys are doing great. Here we go. Okay, we made it to the final station. So here we go. We're gonna do our bench steps, make it fun and creative. I brought my own encouragement out here to help me get through the last station. All right, guys, here we go. Ready? All right, guys, that is it. Great job. All right, real quick, we're gonna do our heart rate. Remember, find the middle of your throat, take your 2 fingers, you're gonna slide in there, and let's measure for 30 seconds. Ready, begin. And stop. All right, good job, guys. Okay, remember, you want to multiply that heart rate by 2, and then let's compare it to that fitness chart again. Okay, remember, your goal is to either be in a zone 2, which is 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate, or a zone 3, which is 70 to 80% of your heart rate, depending on what you're trying to work on. All right, let's look at our chart and see how we ended up. Thanks, everybody. That was a great workout. Make sure that you hydrate, okay? So if you need to take a break during your routine, feel free to. If you want to challenge yourself, go through it 2 or 3 times, okay? Maybe do each station for a little bit longer. If it's too much, just turn down your effort level just a little bit, okay? I want to thank you guys for coming. Remember that we talked about how a good Spartan understands that eating healthy and exercising keeps your body strong, that we are outside and we're being physically active because we want to reduce our TV and media time, and above all else, whatever you do, we want you to be unbreakable.